So here's a hard fact. You'd rather be right than to actually live a better life. And I'm gonna prove it to you in this video, but I'm also going to awaken you to some painful truths about yourself while I prove to you how you're absolutely right. Now you ask, Shakur, if I'm absolutely right, how does it awaken me to painful realities? Have some patience, I'm gonna show you and we'll get to it together. So over the last few years, I've spent a lot of time reading hundreds and hundreds of books on psychology, spirituality, as well as in the last 6 years, I've been developing people in their careers, helping them, achieve their true potential, as well as become better leaders at the workplace. And there's a key component that I've had to fight across this journey, and that was limiting beliefs. So by the end of this video, you'll understand what beliefs are, what limiting beliefs are, why they exist, how they work for us, and how they stunt our growth, and what are the possible ways that we can get out of them. This video will be a complete understanding to figure out your limiting beliefs as well as find ways that you can overcome them.
So let's get into what essentially beliefs are. Basically, beliefs are models that we use to understand life and the world around us. They act as a map and help us interpret the world, that help us perceive the reality. Imagine you are on Broadway and 6th in New York City and you want to go to Central Park. You need a map to navigate through the city and get there. Similarly, we need a map of life to understand life, to find what's meaningful in life and what's not, and where do we spend our time. So beliefs act as a broad blueprint to understand life, and they lie deep down within our subconscious. Now, once again, understanding the subconscious is going to be so critical for your life, because this subconscious, it's like the Pandora box, and there's so many demons and secret and magic within it. It's like the closet in Narnia. There's a whole world that exists in there. It's going to be very critical in your personal development because the subconscious runs our life. It makes 90% of the most important decisions that we make, be it deciding what college to go to, or selecting your career, or choosing your life partner, where you want to live in life. And these are very crucial decisions that are made by our subconscious, because all the information out there in life, there's so much of it that it's hard to fully analyze every little detail. And when the information overload happens, we rely on our subconscious to make the decisions for our life, and that's why beliefs exist in the subconscious.
So they're basically a lens, a pattern, a way to look at life, a way to perceive reality, and they help us interpret reality in its multitude of interpretations and variations that reality can have, because we want to have a better understanding of the life that we live in.
How we as humans operate is that we want to save energy. We want to automate as many processes as we can. And we want to automate, right? Because automation helps us. Think of it in the global level. The only reason we came up with computers, smartphones, artificial intelligence now is that we want to automate things we don't want to think about and things that are repetitive. And if you see that at a personal level, we also have developed patterns inside our brain to help us go through our daily life. Say, you get out of the shower. It's not every day we think about what movements do I make to wipe my body with the towel. We do it even without thinking about it because it's automated. It's become a pattern. Imagine if every day you stepped out of the shower and you were consciously thinking, do I wipe my legs first or my chest first? How do I get to my butt? And what comes next in this wiping process? And you basically have an automated process inside your brain that's a pattern that helps you do it every day without you having to think about it. Similarly, when we drive cars, it's automated after a while, so we don't have to think about it. Instead, we can drive while listening to resourceful videos like this,
So the very interesting thing about beliefs is that they can be good and they can be bad. We can have positive beliefs that support us, that help us grow in the path that we want to, that help us achieve our best potential in life and make the most out of our journey. Whereas there are limiting beliefs that stunt our growth, that are basically a skewed version of the map of reality. And when we have those limiting beliefs, they help us see the world in only a certain perspective, with that perspective ends up hurting us.
Say you have to go to California from New York, and if you have a belief that flights are dangerous and risky and expensive, that basically eliminates you taking a flight from New York to California. So now you can only either drive or take the train to California. And if you drive to California from New York, it will take you a couple more days, whereas someone who can just fly over there reaches there in a couple of hours. So we all carry some sorts of limiting beliefs that end up hurting us over and over again in our life, that stunt our growth. There's few of the common beliefs that are perpetuated, and something like in the middle class, there's a belief that money is evil and rich people are not happy themselves. So if rich people are not happy, what's even the point of being rich? And people talk like, that guy was rich, look at their kids, they're all spoiled now. They're not even making any good use of that money, so money is bad and it was a waste of time. No, greed is bad, but having resources in life, it's not a bad thing. Having resources to do the right thing, to help people, to influence society in a positive manner, that is not a bad thing. But a lot of people carry this belief and they wonder why they're not getting rich, because when the bills come in, they feel that they should be rich, they should be making a lot of money. But then there's this limiting belief that money is evil, rich people are evil, and they don't want to be rich. Similarly, women can have a lot of limiting beliefs that all handsome men are players.
And ladies, trust me, not all handsome and charming men are players.
Some of us are really good guys, and you got to get out of those limiting beliefs. A lot of people think that, just because I'm a person of color, I will not get ahead in my career and I will not be able to network the same way. And that also gets proven right, because you only start seeing things that conform to your beliefs. Similarly, when a woman thinks that, any handsome man is a player, since she is trying to see the reality in that particular manner, reality will conform to her worldview. Reality will conform to her beliefs. So the next important thing is that reality ends up proving our beliefs right. Reality will prove our belief right. So whatever belief you hold, money is evil, rich people are bad, I'm not tall enough to find an attractive partner, I don't have the resources to find an attractive partner, I don't have the skill sets to become an entrepreneur, I don't have the time to become an entrepreneur, I don't have the time to go to gym. All these could be your beliefs. And what reality is going to do is that it's going to prove those beliefs right, because it's your blueprint with the way you desire to see the world. And you're only perceiving information out there that conform to those blueprints. Now we understand, right, that first of all beliefs are necessary because they serve as a blueprint to experience life, and we don't always want to be figuring things out and questioning things. We want to build patterns to save our time and save our energy, and that is what essentially beliefs do. They serve as a larger blueprint to experience and shape perceptions and make interpretation of life easier and smoother. And then there's beliefs that can be good and that can be bad, in the sense that they might serve you to achieve your goals, or they might work against your conscious goals. If they're working against your conscious goals, you want to learn how to identify them and you want to learn how to change them. Now let's get to the root of this. Where does this even begin from? Like, why did this mess even start, right? Why do we start having limiting beliefs in the first place? And the answer to that is that limiting beliefs, because they protect us in some ways and they guard us from certain negative emotions. Beliefs always have emotions attached to them. So the limiting beliefs that we end up developing is that they protect us in certain areas and certain perceptions of our life, and they guard us from facing negative emotions. The job of any thought process that we have is to preserve us, help us survive. And the hard part of our development is that anytime you try to develop, it's painful. And you kind of kill a part of yourself, or you let go of that part. And you let go of that old version of yourself just to usher in the new version in your life. And like they say, your new life will cost you your old one. Say you go to the gym, it's hard for the first couple weeks and months because you're growing and you're going through these growing pains, and this process of growth. And why we have certain beliefs is that they protect us from going through those negative emotions and pain that we face, and they prevent us from exposing us to those vulnerable moments in life. So say you have this belief that money is evil and I don't want to make more money. And if you try to change that belief and you start believing that money is great, it's awesome, and I want to make more money, it's going to challenge you. You're going to have to learn new things in life now. You're going to have to work hard to actually conform to the new belief that money is good. You will have to stop chilling with your boys and girls and stop smoking up. And if you're trying to be lazy, changing that belief does not help you, or having a positive belief around money or around power does not help you, because you're trying to be lazy, right? You're trying to sleep in your bed and watch some Netflix and, hang out with your friends and be the mindless, happy person you are, or watch reels for the next 5 hours. And that is why you have this belief that money is evil, because it's trying to protect you from working hard, from trying to protect you from the pains of growth, from, putting yourself out there, from meeting people or going through experiences you're not accustomed to and you will feel uncomfortable in. Similarly, somebody has a belief that only tall, rich guys can attract good or beautiful women. And then they're not rich enough, they're not tall enough to find a partner, or they're too busy to find a partner. And that particular belief, what it could be doing is that it's protecting them from some issue, that they might have this fear of attachment with a partner, that anytime they get in a relationship, they have this fear of attachment and they get too attached to the other person and it does not work out. It ends up hurting them. And maybe they might not even be hygienic, or their room is not organized, and they don't have interesting hobbies or good communication. And if their house is not organized and you have this belief, oh, I'm not able to attract people in my life because, I'm not tall enough. But the real truth is that first you would have to work on grooming yourself, organizing your house, being appropriate, and developing that communication and attracting a partner who in turn, when they become intimate, all your vulnerable sides will get exposed. So instead of exposing those sides and doing the hard work, you would instead develop this belief that, I'm not rich enough to find a partner, and that lets you off the hook. But you cannot face the truth and then you say that, hey, I'm afraid of hard work, I'm afraid of the pains that will accrue due to the growth that will happen. And that is why you're trying to build these limiting beliefs. So far, we understand. So now we know that we need beliefs, and they can be good and bad. There could be good beliefs that, hey, everyone is so nice and kind, and they're always trying to help me out whenever I reach out for help. Like, we're all on this adventure together, and we're bouncing off creative ideas, and we're trying to build something amazing together. And it's fun, it's adventurous. There can be positive beliefs, and then there can be negative beliefs. Money is evil, money doesn't get you happiness, and there's no point in making money. And the reason these bad beliefs end up coming up is it could be our conditioning as kids, it could be early childhood experiences, and they also want to preserve and protect our feelings. They want to help us avoid some of the harsher truths or harsher fears that we might be harboring in the back of our subconscious. It helps us avoid something deeper or even a deeper terrible issue that we might have by developing these limiting beliefs around it. And it prevents us from going into situations that would expose even further fears that we carry within ourselves. But you're clearly watching this video till now because you're trying to get past your limiting beliefs. You're trying to find a way that you can build a life that is not run by your limiting beliefs. So the first step is understanding what those limiting beliefs are, and you want to understand how you feel about certain things. When you think of money, does it make you anxious? Does it make you angry? When you see somebody rich, does it make you anxious? Does it make you angry? Does it make you feel hatred towards them? Do you instantly think that, they might not be a good person or they might not be smart, they just got lucky? And say you see, a female CEO, like how do you feel about that situation? Like, do you feel that person's smart enough? Say you see a female driver, do you feel safe? But basically what I'm trying to say is that you want to see your first intense emotions in any situations so you can identify your beliefs around it. Just because someone is rich does not necessarily mean that they might be cruel or they might not be smart or like they just got lucky or they might be a greedy person or a bad person. So you want to identify anytime these emotions come into play in different situations so you can learn what your true beliefs are and which of them are limiting beliefs. So the way you fight those beliefs is once you've identified them by first finding evidence in the environment that contradicts your beliefs. And you want to look for evidence that will contradict the beliefs that you have. Evidence that, that you see shorter guys who have attractive partners, and you will find people way less smarter than you becoming very rich, and you will find people working way less and still making more money, still being more successful, more productive. So you will understand that there are enough examples to contradict my beliefs. So is it possible? And once you are truly convinced that it is possible, you want to explore it in your personal life. You want to try to do things that will contradict your beliefs. This will help you see the evidence within yourself that contradicts the very limiting beliefs that you have. And this is one way to get past limiting beliefs that we've been carrying, and they kind of stop us. The other critical step is that once you start fighting your limiting beliefs, please don't fight them halfway. Now, I've personally noticed that we see the evidence that's out there that contradicts our beliefs, and then we might try approaches that contradicts us within ourselves, and we are somehow able to, start seeing that our belief is probably not true. But we get somewhat convinced that it's not true, and then we kind of stop working on overcoming that belief. And what ends up happening over there is that we always go back to our baseline state. So if you do not completely burn that belief with no evidence left, then it will always pop up again, because that has been the base state for so many years, and to change it in a couple of days or weeks or even a month is not enough. You want to constantly contradict that belief till you have enough experiences that make you convinced otherwise. And for a long period of time, that is the only way to get out of these limiting beliefs.
So I hope this video helped you identify some of your limiting beliefs, and you come out stronger after learning these facts. You're able to face and overcome those limiting beliefs. Please let me know what you thought of the video, and please drop in comments if you were able to identify your limiting beliefs as well as get over them.